Cable pull across, amazing exercise, but takes a little bit of paying attention to. So initially, instead of having the bench pointing towards the cable, we will just drag it a little bit across so you can work alongside it. And then we set up the bench on a 70 to 80 degree incline, and if the bench is pointing one way, we want the legs to point 90 degrees to it. So where these legs are pointing versus where the bench is pointing, there's 90 degrees in between. So we're not gonna be here, we're not gonna be out here, but instead 90 degrees. And the feet stay planted here. Now the leg closer to the cable stack will always want to fall out. This whole body will want to try and rotate that way. Instead, we will keep this in place, firmly planted, and you can use a reference for your knee as well. That's why we have the hip thrust pad here, so Jimmy's knee can push into it, push into it, push into it, that's it. And you can use a yoga mat or a hip thrust pad. Now while this is staying fixed, we also have the non-working arm here planted in the bench. This is constantly pushing Jimmy away from the bench, and we just have the bench on an incline that allows him to keep his torso upright while pushing away with this. So if I were to have the bench on a higher incline, now if he pushes away with this arm, now he would have to like lean out. It would be awkward. So instead, for him, it will be perfect to have the bench like this, pushing away with the non-working arm, staying completely upright with his torso. Now the working arm has the handle in there, and we also set up the cable on above shoulder height. And from here, as Jimmy starts going down, all he thinks about is pushing himself away with the non-working arm and just rotating into it with the rest of his body as much as he can. He's letting his shoulder blade go forward, he's stretching into it, he's letting his whole spine turn. He pauses at the bottom, enjoys the stretch that he gets all across here, and from here as he starts, he just pulls kind of like down and across. But again, not just to here. But again, the main thing here is rotating. So we rotate into the non-working arm that pushes away, push away with this, push yourself back with this. Yep. Rotating into it, getting a stretch across here, and then going down with the elbow, turning, pausing here. If you go past this, it can get weird in the shoulder, so we don't want that. Instead, we just stop here, roughly under the shoulder with the elbow. Turning, getting a big stretch, keeping the legs planted here, not letting it turn towards the cable, and then pulling and turning once again. As he goes down, he breathes in as much as he can. Once again, exaggerating this stretch with having more air in here, and as he turns and pulls, he lets the air go out.